We are taking a closer look today at medical malpractice. Kim Balk is an experienced attorney with the law firm of Rue Ziffra. Kim, what are some signs of medical malpractice?
When a potential client calls us, we screen over the phone to find out what the complaint is. The criteria in Florida for a medical malpractice case is negligent care by a healthcare provider that causes an injury. So for instance, I'll tell people over the phone, what we look for is what we would call negligent care or a deviation from an acceptable standard. For instance, if a doctor prescribes you Motrin because you have a headache and a nurse reads it wrong and gives you morphine, then that's a deviation from an acceptable standard. Nurses are not supposed to give you medicine that's not been prescribed. But if your headache goes away and you don't end up having an injury from getting the morphine, then under Florida law it's not actionable.
If I suspect medical malpractice has been committed against me or a loved one, what are some of the first things I should do?
We ask that you call immediately because you have a 2-year statute of limitations in Florida, 2 years from when you knew or should have known of suspected medical malpractice. So that gives us enough time to get through the requirements of Florida law, which is a pre-suit requirement, which is a 90-day investigative period. And the statute of limitations is fortunately told during that time frame, but that gives us enough time to adequately gain your medical records, have them looked at. We have a registered nurse on staff that helps me screen the cases to determine if we have a case that fits the criteria, which is negligent care that causes you an injury.
Why is it so important to reach out to a lawyer with experience in handling medical malpractice cases?
Here at Rue Ziffra, we have not only a registered nurse on staff, but I've been practicing in the medical malpractice area for over 20 years. Medical malpractice laws in Florida are very technically difficult, and the medicine can be also technically difficult, and so most attorneys don't handle medical malpractice cases. But Rue Ziffra has decided that we would like to specialize in this area, and they've hired me in 2005, and I've been exclusively doing medical malpractice cases in the office.
Kim, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. I've enjoyed being here.